welcome to the Fans Podcast. My name is Gbafade. This is the Fans Podcast, the voice of the younger generation. So here with me, I have Abibat, and we'll be talking a lot about the girl child, how the family societies have shaping our mindset. So let me do a brief introduction. Abibat, she is a cook here. A sexual purity advocate. Hey, she's all round. Like, I really don't know how to describe her, but she's actually like really you are. So Marcus, can you just introduce yourself? Tell the house.
All right, thank you so much. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. I feel elated and excited. Thank you so much. All right, I am Orimoyegun Abibat Abiola Abike. I'm a sexual purity advocate. I'm a Web3 writer. I'm an inspirational writer and speaker. I'm a foodpreneur, like she said, I cook. I'm a social impact driver. I'm also a political commentator. Let's just send it there.
God, who am I?
Oh God.
Yeah. So today we'll be talking about the girl child. Yeah. Thank you for having us. Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you for having me too.
Yeah. So today we'll be talking about the girl child. So I will start with this. Please, who is the girl child? Because there's a lot of definitions online who the girl child is. The girl child from this year to this year and the rest. So I really want us to understand who the girl child is.
Okay, it's the recognized definition of the girl child is a child between a female young child between the ages of 0 to 18 years. 0 to 18 years. Or a young female child, rather, a young female child between the age of 0 to 18 years. So that's just the definition of a girl child.
0 to 18 years. So you're likely saying that because a lot of children don't really see themselves as children as far as they've gotten to the age of let me say from 12. If you call them a child, they'll be like, I'm not a child, please, and the rest.
Yes, just like even the society itself, there's something they call sweet 16. When you are 16, they'll say, oh, sweet 16, you are now this, you are now that. But they don't understand that even the 18 years that we said that, oh, you are now an adult and all that, you are still a teenager. I usually say that thing that even if you are 19, you are still a teenager. So the society too has contributed to the definition of these things because normally 0 to 18 years, of course, you are still immature, you are still young, and I think you should even still be under your parents, probably schooling and doing all that. But the way society just make the whole thing, they feel like, oh. And also because the girl child, especially in this generation, you're already growing.
Yes, breast,
and all those things. You're already taking shape. You're looking so beautiful. You're already having a crush. And all those kind of things. You're already using your mommy's makeup. All those things. So they are part of the things that give this definition to the term. So a girl of 15 years old that is already big, the children now are now even bigger compared to before. They're already big, and you can't tell that kind of child that you're still a child. She'll be like, I'm not a child, I'm a big girl. And I think if you are 15 years of age now, you could even be in SS3.
Yeah.
Even before you get to the age of 18, it's possible to be out of secondary school.
Yeah.
So even this feeling of I am no longer in secondary school, some people gain admission as early as the age of 15 years into the university. And the way the university environment itself is. So it gives them this illusion that I know I am 16, but then I am in the university. I'm a big girl. Only big girls are in the university. So they would not want to take on that meaning of, oh, you are still a young female child, you are still young, you are still immature. They don't want to hear that because the society, as well as circumstances like we're talking about the university environment and all that, is giving them another sense higher than what they know. Something like that.
Yeah, that's actually true. I actually read something online, and the lady was like, allow the child. Like, I just allowed the child because a lot of these parents now, during graduation, during a lot of things and the rest, they just want to make up the child, do this, do that. They allow the child to wear mini skirts and the rest because of it's a so-called graduation party. And she said, just allow the child grow. Don't do all these things because you want to make the child look decent. And the funny thing is, when the child begins to have this thing about bust and the rest. They want to, because it's the puberty stage, they want to look more beautiful, more attractive, so they start taking makeup and the rest. And so I want to ask another question. The when it comes to the family role in defining the girl child, how should the family actually define the girl child? How should the family actually groom the girl child? How should the family actually build the girl child? Because there's a lot of family that actually make the girl child feel somehow like not important. Some family makes them more important and the rest. So I also want us to go into that and the rest. So can you give a little bit of explanation to that?
I'll start with when you said, somebody said allow the girl child. The first thing we must understand is that you just said child. You can't allow a child like that because the child is really mature. So to an extent, that kind of person, that kind of child rather, still needs direction, still needs guidance. So you will not just leave. Allowing the child is I don't know, it's quite ambiguous anyway. If you say leave the child, or leave the child to either do something bad, or leave the child to either do something good, it's on a neutral ground. But you can't leave a child really. A child should still be tutored and mentored. A child is not somebody that you just leave to himself or herself. Right now, what is now the role of the family? Now, part of what I even give definition to who a girl child is who a child is being told she is. A girl child is who she is also told, because we live our lives based on you live somebody said something that you look like your mindset. So it is what you taught that child that the child will take on. That is where our action stems from. So the role of the family is very important, because it is like the beginning. It is the internal environment that will determine how far that child will even go. It will even determine the effect of the external environment on that child. For example, now, if from home my daddy has built confidence into me, nobody can bring me down outside. But if from home they've already bashed me and all that, when I get outside, the society would affect me with its own wrong ideas and mindset and all that. And what do you expect? I was doing evangelism one day to some young children on the street. I was just coming back from somewhere, and I just let me just talk to some school children and all that. So I met this group of children, about 8 of them, and I was asking, I'm a sexual purity advocate. I wanted to just talk to them about sexual purity, but I changed my mind and I was like, okay, let me just preach to them. Let me just talk about the word of God to them. And when I started talking to them, I go beyond just preaching. I just want to relate to them, ask them questions. And I think I asked them that, is it possible to reach this track? Because I heard a track with me, that's a sexual purity track. I held it with me. I wanted to give it to them. So the others were reading it, and I noticed that a boy amongst them could not read. And I asked him, I was like, why is it that you cannot read? Only to find out that he's even a twin. And his twin, that she reads so well. Like, she was reading everything. Wow. And the girl is what they call Ken in Yoruba, like the second of the twin. Then the boy is Taiwo. And I was like, Taiwo, why can't you read? And he brought his face down. He could not look at me. He could not look up, And I knew already that this child at home, they already pressurized him. You don't need to tell me that this child, they already, said a lot of bad things to him, that look at your twin sister. She's better. She can read. You are nothing. You don't know anything. Because if they had not done that to him at home, when I asked him, why can't you read? He's able to tell me, I can't read now, but my mommy said that very soon I'll be able to read. They are training me. But he became so sober because the other children could read. He was not happy, meaning that they already bashed him at home. So you can see that the way the child is being trained from home matters a lot. And that brings me to saying that before we can say that, the family should train the child, what should the family be made up of? Like, what should the parents be made up of? Because we see a lot of children even giving birth to children. If you're a child, you give birth to a child, you can't train a child. You can't train that child to become a seasoned adult. So people just get married, they are not intelligent, they are not mature, they don't know anything about parenting. Some people, it's even maybe out of emotion. Some people, okay, we understand that some people, they make mistakes, they get pregnant and all that, but that does not still take away the fact that you should know how to train a child. And if you look at it, it's like a cycle. These people that you call that, they are children, they are giving birth to children to also take care of. They were also giving birth to by somebody that did not train them. That one, it keeps on going. Also, somebody comes to us to break that chain. And how would that come? By getting understanding. How should a child be trained? And that is how the society should help. And look at it. You don't know how to train the child so well. The child goes out. Now, a child that is even well trained will be faced with other children from different families that are not well trained. And that child is even at a risk already. Now, I was thinking to myself one time that, okay, you get married now, you give birth to a child, you are training your child, you are working so hard to train that child. That child will go to school, and that child will come in contact with children that are probably not well trained. So how are you going to help your own child? Because that child will spend like 8 hours in school. So that you work, you do everything at night. Of course, you sleep. I'm not sure you even have 8 hours to spend with that child. So how are you even going to do it? That the ones outside the society there would not water down the training that you are giving to that child. So the internal environment matters a lot, because now if I to even define who a child alone is, without saying a boy child, a child is a human between the age of 0 to 10 years old. Now that I read one time that is the formation, that is the period of formation of a child. Now, if we ask you now some of the things that happened to you last year, you'll be shocked that you can't remember. But if I ask you certain things that happened when you were 0 to 10 years old, you'd be able to tell me accurately. Why? Because that period was a time of formation. You didn't know so much. Yes, you didn't know so much. Your mind, you are not thinking of what to eat. You're not thinking of making money. You're not thinking of getting a good grade. Your mind is so free. You know, there's this kind of environment in your mind that, so anything that comes in that period, it stays. It will have a kind of root.
Sticks.
It sticks. So especially the ones that have to do with images and all those kind of things like that. True. So the family really matters, and that is why quality, we don't want children giving birth to children. You see, whenever I hear of campaigns, and it's now I do sexual purity campaign, but I'm not happy about it. I look forward to a time when there will be no need to do sexual purity campaign, because we are doing campaigns because these children are not well trained from home. If you have trained your child very well to tell the child that, okay, this is who you are sexually, this is what sexuality, this is what sexual purity is, to go to your child's school to start talking about sexuality again. There are other better things to talk about. Now, the society has a role to play in training a child. But then, what is really the society? The society is made up of family. So whenever we're even talking about society, external, when we mean external, it is because we're looking at the fact that the child will come in contact with other people. Family. It does not mean that the society is one distant thing. It is still made up of every other people. So if I am trained, you are trained, I train my child, your child is trained. When they come together outside of their own immediate small, I think the family is the units of social something. We did that in social studies in school. I can't even remember so well. Now I think social class, or I can't remember. But the family is the smallest unit. I think after family is school, then media, then I can't remember so well. But now look at it. If, like I said, everybody is well trained, and they are meeting outside, like now they will not be with you forever. I am not with my parents now. So that time, you can imagine the kind of thing that will take place. But when your child is not well trained and you are allowing that child to go out, the society will train that child. And if the child is not lucky, and of course, many times we are not usually lucky, you will fall into the wrong ends before you find good people. True. Before you say that, okay, you want to be mentored by good people before you now meet bad people, such that you will not become affected by their bad manners. It really takes time. It is given by the grace of God. So because bad is more common. Bad is common. Good. So
that's true. Even talking about training children, let's even talk about this, where parents allow their children to date when they know, especially the girl child, when they know that it's a girl child. Because if the boy child, normally the boy child, when the boy child has impregnated the girl, the boy child, the girl have to tell people and say, this the guy that impregnated me. But the girl child is the one bearing the chain, getting the pregnancy and the rest. Sometimes she wants to commit suicide. Sometimes she don't even know what to do. Sometimes she wants to leave. She have to leave schooling because of the pregnancy. But the boy is still going to school. So I want to ask this thing about relationships and the rest. When the girl child is just very young, but the parents, because she's 16, 17, 11, 12, they just allow her to date because they feel, is it not just a child? What will you guys be doing? But now the media has a lot to teach them what to do during dating. I was watching a movie of recent, and the movie was so annoying that these children were just 16 years, but they were doing a lot of rubbish because of what? They were rich people's children. Do you get? So you see how the family permits them to do a lot of things. So should a parent really allow the girl child actually start dating when the child is very, very young, don't even know what to do? What if by mistake she now gets pregnant, what will she do? Will her education stop or something like that and the rest? So can you just say something around that?
All right, thank you so much. Okay, I think one of the reasons why I'm happy now is that we're not just talking about the girl child, because there would be the section for the boy child.
Yeah.
Because that itself is a problem in the society. We have so many campaigns for the girl child. What about the boy child? Because the that girl child will grow up to become a woman one day. The boy child will grow up to become a man one day. And that woman will end up
with a man.
So sometimes doing this, the way the whole thing is, because we focus so much on the girl child, she has been traumatized. We know that she has been traumatized. But if we even look at it, even this boy child, these boy children, so they also pass through certain things that make them respond to the way they respond to the girl child, right? True. So the thing here now is, okay, we know that this is what the girl child is going through, and we are going to fix it. But that doesn't mean that we should neglect the boy child. That's why I feel that I am happy that we are also going to treat the boy child. Now, talking about dating, like I said, the family really matters. Now, you know why most parents do the things they do? In during the times of our mothers, those days, the way they were trained, they could not even, it is not even about the way they were trained. The way the culture was so prevalent then.
Yes.
You cannot even say what it meant. You cannot even say what it meant. Now, in my own culture, ethnically now, you can't even, as a man, you can't even woo a woman directly. There's what they call a mediator. But it's the mediator that will go and, it is those days, but it's the families that come together to determine the marriage. I have a woman that I know very well. We are very close. She's a very mature woman. She's a grandma. She's not the first person she got married to, because she had to remarry later. She doesn't like the man. Why? Because it was a kind of arranged marriage. They do that in North Central. I don't want to mention the place. They just arrange. It is that day you are doing the wedding, you meet your husband.
Wow.
So you imagine that kind of thing. That was how the culture was those days. So they cannot even talk about sex. They cannot talk about what is vagina, what is penis, all those things. It was not in their mind, and there was no social media to corrupt them. The culture was so strong that it was so moralistic and all those things like that. And now, because our mothers now gave birth to people like us, and they found out that, and the thing about parenting again is that it requires wisdom. And one thing about man again is that sometimes we are usually rigid. We don't understand times and seasons and civilizations. That this thing was trending before. This thing was like that before. It may not be now like again. So, for example, now someone like me, I never learned about sex at home. My mom never told me anything about period or menstruation. I learned everything in school. I learned everything inside book. Because in their own time, they were not taught and they were moralistic. They were not taught and they did not go and sleep with man. They were not taught and they did not misbehave. They went to school too. They did not misbehave. But my own time now, we have erotic books, even before social media came. Because I remember I got on Facebook, I think when I was in junior school. Now, before that one even came, we have all these books. I read, because I read a lot. I read books that you just see things that kind of like when you are reading them, it's even pornography. So they don't want to understand that, okay, my own time, things are not like this. So our parents do not even have that wisdom to now teach. So now, how am I going to put it now? They did not have that wisdom to bridge the gap between their own generation and our own generation. Now, even as I'm talking like this, the way I will train my own child should be different from the way somebody training a child now should. Why? Things are changing every day. So one way you do this is that you have what I call conversational periods with your children, so that you make them your friend. Those days, our parents, they were not friends with their own parents. There was this kind of someone like my mom. Her dad was very strict, and they coped. They survived. They were okay. They were fine. They did not misbehave. But now you can't be so strict with a child. Now you don't be shocked that child become reset and would be hide things from you. Yeah, that's true. I've heard of girls that they got pregnant right under the nose of their mother. How did the mother know? So now I'm not talking about a child that the mother is 9 to 5 or I'm talking about a girl child that the mother is always at home. So where did she go to? When did she leave the house that she slept with a man? Her mother did not know. So our parents need to understand that times are changing. Yeah. Now, why I'm talking about this is because of the experience that some of our parents had. So those that came after them, of course, after our parents, another generation, like it is line by line, like the Bible, the line by line, precept upon precept. I'm going to say praise God, but I don't remember that.
Hallelujah!
Right, so the people after our parents, because they saw the error and everything, they now went to the extreme.
Yeah.
Now our parents were at the extreme because they do not understand that. But those that came after them, they went to the extreme.
Yeah.
They now said, the way they trained me, hey, if I train my child like that, she'll get pregnant without my knowledge.
Yeah.
They'll not say, go and have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
That is extreme. Now, in that situation, what do? When you know that, okay, I want to have children, you start learning about parenting. Have conversations with your children. In those days now, there was nothing like, I love you. There was nothing like, when I was growing up, I found it hard to tell my mom, I love you. I was not taught to do that to her. She didn't teach me to do that to her. But I have a babysitter now. And sometimes I'll tell her, that tell me you love me. I say, I love you. I say, I love you too. Whenever she gives me something, I'll tell her, thank you. Our old mothers now, when you give them something, they'll say, put it on my head. All those kind of parenting that is so funny. Or when you bring something to them to tell you thank you, they'll say, is this how you're supposed to do it? When we're living in Lagos, then we lived in Face Me, I Knock You. And we had this neighbor opposite our room. And anytime whenever I swept, she'll be like, hey, Abibat, see the way you are sweeping. Is this how you will sweep in your husband's house? Whenever I remember that statement, I'll be like, am I supposed to sweep well because I'm going to a man's house? Or sweep well because it is the right thing to do?
Yes, ma.
Sweep well because it is good to do that. Yeah. Not because I am going to a man's house. So that was how we were brought up. They will just make you think everything revolves around marriage and yes. Like now, those that came after to now say, go and date. Yeah. But that is not how they should do it. Have a kind of friendly relationship with your children. You can't compare the children of today to those days. That time you don't need to be your child's friend. And your child will still be moralistic. Like I said, our parents, they were moralistic people. Despite the fact that they grew under very harsh conditions, harsh parenting. But you cannot do that to a child. You can't be so harsh to a child. Now that child will become reserved, keep quiet. The child will look for a confidant outside the family. Yeah. And that is very risky. And the girl child now, she would naturally gravitate towards a man or towards one boy that is telling. Now, you are not telling the child, I love you at home. That child will go to school. One boy will tell her, I love you. And she will easily get. So sometimes whenever I see situations where the girl gets pregnant and all that, I don't even start blaming the girl. I blame the family. I understand that there are some people that are well trained, but they've sworn with their life that they don't. I understand that. But then we should also understand that when certain things are taken care of, certain things are just so inevitable. Yeah. You can't just say that, you have trained a child well so much. And now, even you yourself, another trait is that the child will even be able to open up to you. Now, if you have not even gotten to that point that the child will make a mistake and still come and tell I want a situation whereby my children can tell me when they tell a lie. They say, Mommy, I told a lie today. Mommy, I told this thing. And now, in that situation, our mothers now, when you tell them, I could not even tell my mom then that I will never try that. I remember that time when I was in primary school, primary 5, I think. A girl stole 2K from her mom, brought it to school, bought things and gave everybody. And I think I got just one small banana. Then our teacher told all our parents to come. Even our teacher to then now, told our parents to come to school. They came to school. If I knew that they would eventually allow the matter to just go under the carpet like that, I would have even called my mom. That when my mom came back, because she goes to market, come back very late at night, we're already asleep. She puts pepper in my private part, in my eyes and everything, and she flogged the hell out of me. Now, can you do that to a child now? No. That child will even run away. But did I run away? I dare not. Who will feed me? But the child now will not think of who will feed me. The child is thinking of comfort food, survival food. They are not saying this harsh thing, strict thing, as something that they can cope with. They feel like it is something I cannot cope with. Considering the fact that they even have friends, and all those kind of things like that. So the family really have a very big role to play in helping the child define who she is. Tell her who she is. Don't wait for the society, don't wait for the social media to tell the child who she is. We have many untrained people out there. If you don't train your child, they will train the child for you. And it starts with your own training too. So anytime you are imbibing anything in yourself, know that you will transfer it to your child. Sometimes we just do things and we think, I'm just doing. You are not just doing anything. Whatever you think you are doing, you are going to affect somebody by it. So when you have that mind that, okay, somebody would be affected by this action, even your mindset, somebody will be affected by it. You'll be more intentional about the things you do, about the way you do the things you do. So like I said, you can start telling the child, I love you, hug me, tell me you love me, make them feel loved. If I feel loved at home, boy will not just tell me I love you and allow me, and I will allow him to sleep with me. Now some girls cannot even tell their mom, mommy, somebody wants to rape me. You know, in those days, you can't even tell your mom that you were sexually abused, which is very bad. And these girls, they will keep quiet. They will go through trauma. They'll go to emotional, so many psychological issues here and there. And now, you know the issue now, like I said earlier, it's a circle. That child that is experiencing all these things, that child will also grow up one day. She will give birth. And it is the content in her that should go pass on to her own child too. So the family really have a role to play.
Like the family has lots to play because if, like, imagine that woman telling you that you are sweeping and she says, is that how you want to sweep it? That's how the culture and the society has defined the girl child. That's like, okay, when you're done with school, you get married. When you're done, you don't have to really have the money. I think this where feminists, extreme of feminists even came from, where a lot of girls have like, man is not. So I really want us to talk about it because it's actually defining a lot of things in our society, especially Africa, where to date some parents, once you are, as far as a girl child, once you are earthly wise, once you are 25, they just want to get married. Give birth.
It's a sin to be unmarried.
Like, it's a sin. Like, if you are 35 and you've not gotten married, it's witch and witchcraft again. Like, they will pray, village people, that they will pray, like, you go for deliverance. But the boy child now, if you talk about the boy child, even if the boy child is 35, they don't really talk much. They don't pressurize because they feel like the boy child is like the one who will bring money to the home, but I feel the girl child is beyond the marriage. I feel girl child is beyond marriage because there are a lot of ladies that are not married today and they are making it. I'm not neglecting the part of marriage. I'm just saying that we should not just define the girl child just by them getting married. I don't know if you understand. Just by just them getting married, because in our society now, imagine if you are done with school, they even train the child to be educated in the home. They don't train the child to be educated because she has a value to give back to the society. She has potentials to give back to the society, and a lot of them. So I really want us to dwell on this. I really want us to talk on this. How to get child. I heard also something few years back that the president of the country said that my wife is for the kitchen.
Yes, I saw the video. In fact, that particular video, it was paired with the video of another ex-president of America. That's Barack Obama. I watched it, and in that video, Barack Obama was, praising his wife, that thank you for being my best friend, thank you for being this, thank you for being that. But this president, when it was the time to talk, he said, my wife belongs to my kitchen and my bedroom and all that. Now, I posted something recently regarding that actually. And I said, this particular first lady, she's so relegated. I can't be that kind of a first lady. You don't want to know the things that Michelle Obama did in America. Now, the post of a first lady is not official. But you don't want to know the number, the way she impacted, like what the things she did without even having an office for it, without an official recognition for that position. But this other person now is what, in fact, I read online that she was always referred to as wife of the president. She was the one that conferred on herself, first lady. So you can imagine that it means that they don't see you as a first lady, they see you as wife of the president. That is so degrading. And because of that, our words are not so felt. My husband spent 8 years, but it doesn't even look like there was a first lady in Nigeria. I think I made a post about that recently. All right, okay, talking about feminism. Okay, feminism. Okay, firstly, me, I'm not a feminist. Yes, I'm not a feminist, but I have people that there are feminists I love, like Amadako of Ghana, Chimamanda of Nigeria, Nawale Sadawi of Egypt. I love them. They are feminists, but I love them. They are, in fact, Amadako is a radical feminist, and she's married. So surprising, right? So feminism, as far as I'm concerned, one of the reasons why I am not a feminist is because I am a believer. And I believe that for every call, there is a response. When you call, there will be a response. Right? Now, when you say that feminism actually is a response to something. And what is that thing? Patriarchy. And if you look at culture, our culture is so... Now look at the woman telling me, you are sweeping, you don't know you are going to your husband's house one day. That's because she already has in her mind that one day I'll be married to a man and I have to be the one to sweep. She will never tell a boy that, she will never make that statement to a boy.
Yeah, that's true.
Feminism is a response to patriarchy.
Yeah.
And that call is patriarchy. So it's a response to it. And like I said I'm a believer. That is why I am not a feminist, right? Because in our kingdom, the kingdom of God, there is no patriarchy. So there is no called patriarchy. So there should be no response called feminism. That is why I am not. I have friends that are Christians and they're fine, good. But now, even our society now, we've now been taking feminism to be that you should be bad-mannered. And I think that it even started from, even before I got the understanding that I'm a believer and blah, blah, blah. I didn't even like the idea of feminism because of what I see people portray as. They are so rude or mannered. But a feminist doesn't mean you should be that. Now, many people follow Chimamanda, but they don't even follow her closely. They just read her book and say, oh, she's a feminist. They don't read between the lines. I read one of her books, Americana, and I would like to even make a quote from there because I've not read her feminism essays, but I've read her books, all her books, and I could see the thin line. I could see her ideology in everything. And if you look at this person, you would think that she's a married woman. And looking at the whole thing, if you study her, you know that she's enjoying her home. But she's a feminist. How come? Because her idea is not what you are portraying now. What many ladies that don't know anything are portraying now. In that book, she said, I want to quote it, but I used to know it very well, but now I'll just paraphrase. She said, it's about one of the characters, Obi's mom. Yeah. She was in a meeting. I think she was slapped. I can't really remember the scenario and all that. Yeah. And Chimamanda wrote that she said she should not have been slapped, not because she doesn't have a husband to speak for her, but because she's human. The moment I read that line, I knew that this woman's ideology concerning feminism. That a woman should be recognized as a human. I don't know if you get not about because in that particular passage, the woman, she was slapped, and they said, why did you slap her now? She doesn't have a husband to support her. Now, don't slap a woman because she doesn't have a husband to support her. But don't slap her because she's a human being. Just like I was talking about that woman that was telling me, see the way you are speaking because you're going to husband. No, I should speak because I should speak well because it is the right thing to do. Not because I am going to a man's house. And then that brings me to talking about how that they even made the whole thing look like everything about the girl child evolves around just marriage, man. They made it such that after everything, you will end up with them. My daddy says that a lot. After everything, you will end up with it. But one of the reasons why my dad permits us, one of the reasons why he permitted us then to go to church, my dad is a Muslim. But why he allows it, I said, okay, even if I stop you from going to church, from being a Christian, you will marry a Christian one day, you will still go to that church. But you know that I have a stepbrother. He never allows that, but they wanted to follow me. Yes, he doesn't allow them to go to church. They wanted to follow me, but he said, no, I've tried on whenever I'm at home, they can follow me. But the moment I'm not at home, they won't allow them. So that's because it feels somewhere that after everything that he has done, is a man that will come and repeat, right? So that's why I want to now talk about the fact that even the girl child at home, look at that woman telling me I should sweep her because I'm going to a man's house. She's really giving me a kind of mindset, ideology, and an ideology that everything I should do it to please a man. But I usually tell young girls something: you are a solution. You are beyond marriage. Marriage is just an addition. It's just one of the things. Marriage is just that when it gets to that time and we do it, it is not the main thing. I usually tell girls that don't limit yourself. Don't think you are a parent already. Some people, they are just thinking one day I will get married, I will give birth. I saw one post recently and I said I'm going to still write against it. The person that posted it, I'm sorry, a lady that wrote it, she said, oh, I will be a blessing to my husband and my children. No, I will be a blessing to your generations. Even generations to come. Now, I was talking about Nawal Estadawi of Egypt, that she's a feminist. She's dead now. But how do I know her? Through her works. She's a writer. She was advocating for females and all that. Now I have to even understand it. Why? She was a Muslim when she was alive, and of course, the religion is quite yeah. So that kind of thing that it is okay because of her understanding and all that, she did what she did. So I always tell girls that you are a solution. Being a mother is just one of the things that you will ever be. And guess what? You are not just a mother to one child or to your husband's children. Yeah, that's whenever I was at the market on Saturday to deliver something to somebody. I saw a woman, she brought a baby in the pot. And I was playing with the child and I was speaking words over the child that you are blessed. Let's be praying for the child. I usually tell myself that all children are mine. I don't need to give birth to my own children before I become a parent. I don't need to have a child before I take care of somebody's child. So
That's true.
all this, everything about man, children, family. I have a family now.
Yeah.
I have a family now. Those children, they are my family now. I don't need to wait to have my own children. So I always tell girls that you are much more than somebody that a man will marry one day and put in the house. You have the world as your you can be whatever you want to be. Whenever I go for some outreaches in places like village, I'll be like, because you're in this village now, all you are thinking is this village. That's one of the reasons why I love to explore. I love to go out. Because staying in a place sometimes can make you a mediocre.
Yeah.
You will think that is everything there should be. That is what the whole world is. You can be in a village and to you, the world is that village. But the moment you step out of your comfort zone, you realize that there is so much outside. You realize that where you are even coming from, Yoruba, there is this proverb that they say in the Yoruba land, and they'll say that if you have not gone to another person's farm, you will think your father's farm is the biggest. That's how so many young girls are. When I went home last year, it was so painful. A girl of 16 years old, she got pregnant, and because her vagina was too small to push the baby out, they did operation, and she still lost the baby. So painful, and I was like, what is it with you? Just now, because they are not trained, the environment and everything, what they're just thinking is one day I'll just cook my bone, finish, and go to a man's house.
So why not born now?
Why not born now? The moment they just learn one tailoring skill, one hairdresser skill, that is all. They don't want to know that.
And also because of there's a lot of how they should online school now scam. I'm like, okay, why not just learn this skill? After learning this skill, just get married and give birth. And talking about these things, there's a lot of parents that have actually defined the girl child in restriction of who they actually are. You see that you telling a child always that you still get married, end up in a man's house, you end up in a man. You see that child, all she will think about is ending up in a man's child.
Thinking of marriage,
just marriage, baby. You see, if you go to the university now and question one or two people, okay, after this, what's your plan? Their plan is marriage. After this, what's your plan? Get a good job, marriage. I feel getting a good job, marriage, it's actually beyond who you actually are. There's a lot about you that you should give back to the society. There's a lot. It's not about marriage. It's not all about getting married. You get married, okay, yeah, you not give birth. What will you not be doing? You stay in the house. What will you be doing? Okay, you get. And funny enough, a lot of women, after they give birth to one, they'll give birth to the second one. They'll give birth to the third one. They'll give birth to the fourth one. Like, calm down, becoming that marriage. I feel there's a lot about the girl child that the girl child needs to explore. There's a lot about the girl child that is beyond the hawking. There's a lot. Even as I thank God for a lot of advocates that will be talking about how girls should go back to school. Because back then, because they know that you end up in a man's house, they will just train the boy to school. They will give everything to the boy to go to school. And moreover, imagine the boy now become a spoiled brat. Yes, it's true now. The boy now becomes a spoiled brat. You will not give birth to a child who you also train
to be spoiled.
You get. So I feel there's this imbalance, and I thank God for the society we are today. A lot of girls are speaking out, but now they are speaking out to the extreme. That's not the issue. They are just speaking out to the extreme. Education and the rest. We understand girls need to be educated. Girls need to be, but it's not becoming extreme, feminists and the rest, like girls. I feel it's from even these feminists that will raise this thing about lesbian and gay, where girls will be like, I don't want I don't want a boy to overthrow me or this and that. So because of that, I rather get married to a girl than to get married to a boy anyway. So you see that all these things started from a culture, started from the evolutions and everything, started from a culture, started from the society, started from a family, started from that woman that keeps saying that the girl is for marriage alone. I feel there's a lot about the girl child.
All right. When you said some people say, okay, go and learn a skill, education and scam and all. As far as I'm concerned, education is not scam. Neither is school scam. I was saying something one time that the school is a formal institution to pass education to you. Now people will say, you can still learn. Yeah, I know you can learn without the educational system, fine. But that is why there is a system for order. I remember when I was trying to learn certain things on YouTube. Oh my God! I remember then I think I was going to learn forex. Hey, my head there. Why? It is not well structured. You just go there. Now, YouTube is a university.
Yeah.
But there is no structure there to help me get that knowledge in a constructive way that will help me that, okay, after this is this. So that's what the school system ought to be for. Of course, I know that the school system in Nigeria or Africa, in some parts of Africa, has failed. And, because of that. But that it has failed does not mean that it is a scam. And who builds institutions? It's a man. So if we say that the institution is failing, we should look at the man that built it. So it is the man that is failing to build the institution. Well, not so much about the institution, right? So if you say school as scam, education can never be scam too, because you can. In fact, in this age now, you can't just but be literate. Even the things you do. I was telling somebody that, see, you are saying school is scam, you are saying education is scam. The things you do, how educated you are, it will reflect. The way you present the things you do, even the fashion designing you are doing, the food you are selling, there is something that will distinguish you from someone that is an illiterate. Because education does something to your mind. It civilizes your mind. It makes your mind informed. And because of that, there is a way it helps you to think. Now, it is because we don't even understand what education should be or what education is. It's just to teach you how to think, not to that. It is not. They are not. Now, I studied ENL, right? They did not. Now, if I don't understand what education is, I'll just take in everything I was taught.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, the education there is that you should know how to think. Yeah. You should know how to bet ideas. You should know how to be creative, how to be innovative, even in the things you do. So it is not so much about, okay, this is now, all those things, I was telling myself which day that all these things that I studied now, somebody's idea, somebody's ideology, this person's theory, that person's theory. Now they've told me their own theory, right? That doesn't mean I swallow it hook, line, and sinker. I can still sit down to say that this theory does not even match what it should be. Like, if it is not correct, I can still say that to myself, and I will not take that in. That is what education really is. That you're able to sit down, think through something, and decide what influences you. Besides what tells you this and that. Not that you just sit down and just swallow everything, hook, line, and sinker. So education is not scam. Neither, as far as I don't believe all those things. Me, if I have opportunity, I still want to go. I was telling you the other time. Yeah. I still want to go to Harvard School of Law. I still sponsor, so you can sponsor me. The sound can, sponsor me. I'll come back and fight for the younger generation. So then talking about that, okay, school and scam, education and scam, then just marry this and that. It's just a man. I always say something. When you think of yourself, you just think of marriage, work, make money. But when you think of others, when you think of the society, you will never think of yourself alone. Yeah. In fact, everything you do will not be about yourself alone. Now, why am I developing myself? It is not just because of me. Yeah. It's because I also want to give value to the society. But if it is just because of me, I don't need so much for me to survive. I don't need so much for me to live. But if you want to live for other people, if you want to give to the society, you need to be so much. You need to give so much. You need to have a lot of value. Now, you can just... Okay, what I mean is that if you want to just think of yourself, you don't need so much. Think on the road that be begging. People that are kind enough, they'll be giving you 100 naira, 200 naira. You will get something to just feed each day. You just be sleeping under the bridge. Nobody will touch you. You can't. But when you know that, but when you know that you want to live for the society, you will know that I need value to give back. I need value, and value is even beyond money. Even your character, even the things you do, value. You give out value. So if you think of others first, in fact, I don't even think of the people I'm seeing now. I'm thinking of generations to come. People usually say that, I want to die as an institution, and that is true. Dying as an institution means that generations will come and they feel your impact. Generations will come and you are living. I posted somebody's picture recently, Chino Achebe. I'm still reading one of his books. It's a political memoir, and this one is dead already, but he's still living out his books. And you want to know how many things I've learned from that book, how many ideas, how many things that I've gotten into me because I am reading something that somebody wrote, because he's bridging a gap between his generation and the time that he wrote that book. So, it's people just say, oh, me. When you think of others first, now, if he was thinking of just himself surviving, getting married, now, he was very well okay. He had a job. There are times, they had some privileges that we don't even enjoy now. But I'm sure that even if he wasn't thinking beyond himself per se, but there was something in him that felt like, oh, I should do this for the society. I should do this for generations to come, for posterity. And he wrote a book. And he has canonized himself Yeah, that what he has just done, he has institutionalized himself for life.
Yeah.
He's dead, or maybe his bones are even rotten already. But the book is living. He's living through his book. You can be living through your videos. You can be living through the things you do. You can be living through your character.
Yeah.
Look at Mary Slessor. Mary Slessor never wrote a book, but Mary Slessor is living in the heart of every Calabar child that is a twin. How she stops the killing of things in Calabar. So you can see that. When you think of others, when you think of generations to come, when you think of giving to humanity, when you think of writing your name on the sands of time, Nelson Mandela is gone. He was not a speaker. He was not maybe he was the president, so he could be a speaker, but he was not maybe the wealthiest man. But South Africa can never forget him. And this person did what? Gave himself for the nation. So when you think beyond yourself, so as a girl child, think beyond yourself. Think beyond, and when I mean think beyond yourself, think beyond my child, my husband. I usually say something that even some sisters that feel like, oh, I want to support my husband, support the brothers around you that are doing well. It is not only your husband. You are not only created for your husband. Everybody around you doing well. You say, I'm an helper. It is not only to one man. You don't need to one person. You know, I need to say something that, what is in me? It is too much for one person.
Come on now.
What is in me? Like, one person can, it is overwhelming.
Yes, it's overwhelming.
Even a nation, like, it is overwhelming. So I want to give it out to everybody that can take from.
Our bellies will flow.
Exactly. You can just one person, can one person finish a river? No,
you can't now.
A whole community can depend on just one small.
Yes.
So you just look at yourself and say, I want to support my. Some people, what they are waiting for is to support a man in marriage. And
support around them,
doing wonderful things. You're not supporting them. You're not helping them because you are waiting for one man. There are children around you that their parents don't have understanding. They don't know anything. You have something. You still have small sense. Pass it to those children. Don't wait to have your own child. Help the society.
Don't wait to have a big school. You can start gathering the children one by one, teaching them.
One of the reasons why I started social pretty campaign is because, in fact, when I started social pretty campaign, I started alone. I remember then that I'll just wake up on my bed. I'll just go to a school and tell them, please, I will introduce myself so well and tell them I want to talk to the students. In fact, I think the first school I went to then, I told them I'm an undergraduate of the University of Benin. I said it as though somebody sent me. And you wouldn't believe it. I didn't plan it. I didn't write a letter or anything. I spoke to the children. After that, I think I went to another school in Koso during Valentine period. I just spoke to the man. I said, to not take time, don't worry. I didn't write any letter or anything. So think beyond, okay, when I have big money. Some people think it is when they have money or when they are able to do big things like, sponsor big projects to carry these things out. It starts with even going to the secondary school. In fact, I think there was a time that they were not even allowing that again. What did I do? When students close from school, I know when they close around 2, I go to the street and I talk to some of them. I walk with them, I'll just walk this one, talk to this one. After that, I talk to another one. I always tell myself that the world is my pulpit. Humanity is my audience. You don't need to give me a pulpit or a stage to do the things I want to do. You don't need to, I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to study law. But I couldn't study law. But I had to sit down to think, like, what else can you still do to fulfill this thing about you studying law? Then I realized that there was something in me that wanted to study. That there was something in me that just like, oh, law is what looks like what can make me do this thing. I posted something on Facebook about that yesterday. And I realized that, okay, that thing in me is that I want to help people. I think when I was very young, I wanted to even fight for women. I wanted to be an activist and all those. I was like, you want to help people. Now, you don't need to be a lawyer to help people. You don't need to be in the court of law to help somebody out. Start from where you are. Go to that school and help those children with knowledge and understanding. I remember when I was in secondary school, people will come to my school, then they will talk to us. I think I messaged one of them recently. I found him on Facebook and I was like, oh, you may not know me, but I know you, sir. You used to come to my school there to do evangelism. Thank you so much for all the things you do. Now he's a pastor. Now, that time too, I'm sure he also sat down. He even studied law. I'm sure he just sat down and he was like, I want to reach out. I want to help people, but I don't have so much. So let me go to this school. And all the things he taught us then, of course, not everybody will take it. For me, I took it. It has helped me one way or the other. I know people that I have listened to and their lives have helped my own life. When I was in secondary school, I used to read newspapers and I would see great women and I'll be like, wow, so I can be more than this. I can be more than this girl that is in Face Me, I Knock You. I can be more than this girl that is in one place in Ogba, Lagos State. I can be a global person because I was reading about other women like me. Some of them have even started in a way that was not even so palatable. Yet they're now big names, they're now big people. So I was like, wow, I can be more than this. So somebody put that, this interview, newspaper. Somebody just did the interview, but it reached out to me, did something to me. So don't wait till when I study medicine, I will help humanity. Start helping. I think there's somebody I know. He has an NGO, Lifesaver NGO. His name is Eddie. I can't pronounce his surname. And when I listened to him, then he was like, he's a medical doctor, and he said why he started that NGO is because he did this thing that I think intern in a hospital. I can't remember. I don't know what they call it as a medical student. Then they said sometimes whenever they bring some people, it's just one small cut or one thing, then they'll be bleeding. It will lead to something big. So they saw that and he was like, okay, I can have an NGO where we just help people get first aid. Now he's a medical doctor, right? He doesn't have an hospital, but through that NGO, he's going to do what? Help people. That NGO now is his hospital first before we have money to build an hospital. So he's able to help people in that line that, okay, this person, it is just a small cause before it becomes tetanus, because it becomes something very big. Let us treat it. So start seeing the little ways you can fulfill that big thing you want to be. So don't think, I'm a girl child, one day a man. Think beyond a man. That one is an addition. It's a plus. That marriage is a plus. You will still get, I usually say something, you will still get married one day. Yeah. You will still give birth one day. Yeah. So when you do that, and what next? What is not the next thing? So when it's okay, now I am a mother, thank God, glory to God. Now I am a wife, thank God, glory to God. And what? Yeah. Not that is the only thing. I think I was going through the pages of some queens in Nigeria. I don't want to mention the particular king. Some queens, this particular king married a lot of wives. In fact, it's so pathetic, and I was going through the pages of all of them, and I'll see some of them, they'll write queen of, that's the only thing they're able to write. Queen of, and I'll be like, so if they remove this queen, you are nothing else. But I saw one of the wives, she said, digital marketer, fashion designer. I was like, hey, this is a queen. You're not just a queen because you're on the throne with the man. Yeah. A queen here, a queen and more. Not that I'm a queen, no, I'm a queen. A queen and what? A queen and what? You know that you are the wife of a king. Good, glory to God. What else are you? What other value do you embody beyond that marriage? Yeah. So I think everything just starts from the way you build the girl child. Like I said, you will not leave that child to the mercy of the society. That is why you should start. So you too, as a person that wants to get married one day, you should sit down and ask yourself, what do I know about parenting? What do I know about even the girl child? Because there are peculiarities. What do I know about the boy child? Okay, how can I help my child? Okay, when my child gets to that time that she's having a crush, how can I help her? What will I say to her? Will you tell her, go and date because you are scared that if you stop her, she'll still go? The fear is if I stop her, she'll still go and do that my back. So no, that is not the cure. Just not for my fault. Yeah, that's what the parents do. And then the child will eventually make a mistake. So the question will now be, okay, how can I help this situation? And of course, even before you get to that point, there's a way you would have nurtured that child from childhood. Yeah. Even that child is not think of such. Yeah. So everything boils down to parenting and wow, this is awesome. Like this is mightily awesome because there's a lot of things in the society that is affecting the conscience, the mind of the girl child, and this actually a lot. So I don't really know. Do you have any final words for parents, the girl child, the society, on how we can build the girl child? Because a lot of people are advocating for the girl child, but they are going to the extreme. Yeah. So do you really have one or two advice for parents, like what should they do? Okay, that time, that point that the child is crushing, that point that the child is doing this, that point that the child just want to give up, that time that the child is pregnant. Do you understand? Yeah. So what's the advice you have for them? All right, the first thing I'll start with is that the society is you and I. Society is made up of family. So whenever we even say society are outside, we know it is outside, but it is that outside started from somewhere. It is coming from the inside. Yeah. So when you see yourself as, when I do well, the other person does well, everything is what will come together to form the whole. Yeah. Everything comes together to form the big thing. Yeah. So the thing is, as a person yourself, sit down and ask yourself, what can I give back to the society? How can I bless the society in my own little way? Okay, I'll give birth one day. There are children around me now. How can I even start I usually say something that some ladies that I want to build with a man. You want to build with a man, do you even have building skills? You don't have building skills. And how do you get building skills? You don't wait till when it's time to build with a man to get the building skills. Okay, look at a bricklayer, for example. Before the bricklayer would build his own house, he would have built many people's house. Yeah. So when you say, and if you even check it, the houses he would build for other people will be more than the number of houses he would ever be able to build for himself. So maybe he eventually builds 10 houses for himself, but he has built like hundreds and thousands of houses of other people. So what does that tell you? That you have much more to give to people than even to yourself. So when you start thinking in that line that, okay, I will be a mother one day. What do I know about parenting? What do I know about children? What do I know about marriage? And you start training yourself. How do you get that training? Practice with the children around you. Yeah. Start training them. Support the people around you, the brothers around you. If you're a man, support the ladies around you. We should not make everything look like the man. That is where it starts from. Yeah. Because all of us want to get to marriage and start the work. Meanwhile, the work should first of all start even before we get to marriage. Marriage is not where you go and start the work. It's where you go and what you already know. You are just it will become normal. If you have been training other people's children very well, it will be hard for you to train your own child. Look at Abraham in the Bible. Before he had his own child, he already trained his servant. And so when his own child came, it was not. Now look at it. He was not even afraid that the servants would even corrupt his children. Now, if you have a maid or anything, you cannot even trust your child with your maid. I had a classmate in secondary school that she was introduced to sexual immorality by a maid. Wow. Now imagine if that maid was trained well by her grandma. That girl will come to meet a well-trained maid because she spends most of her time with the maid. So when you start practicing with the children around you, with other people, when you have your own, it will flow, it will become natural. And from there, you start learning. Okay, I was not supposed to do this. I was supposed to do this. You start learning. It is a conscious thing. It is an intentional thing. You cannot just afford to just leave your mind just to do anything it wants to do. Yeah. And for even this campaign against this and that, I understand that they are fighting for the girl child, but there should be a balance. Fight for the girl child, but fight for the boy child too. The boy child needs to be saved too. If not, after all our training of the girl child is still going to end up with one untrained boy child. And should be at the best. Yes. And the children they have, it's to affect them. Sometimes they even end up separating. Why? She can't cope with the man again. They should not raise a child that does not have a father there with her. That one is another word. Each on its own. So all these things, it boils down to each one of us to sit down, to think beyond ourselves, think for generations to come, think for nations. Start seeing children in Ghana. Me, I don't know about you, but me, I'm seeing children in Ghana, India, those Papa places. Think beyond even the Nigeria that you are. You're a global person, and you're even more than a global person. Because as a believer, you are not even earthly. I usually say something to myself that God sits and the head is his footstool. Yeah. So that is who I am. So the head too is at my feet. Yeah. So I should not just box myself into I am in one place in a course. No, you are beyond that. So NGOs, thank you so much for helping us to do campaign for the girl child identity, because there should be a balance. Then for feminism, well, I don't know what to say to that, but get accurate knowledge and know what these feminists are talking about before you just go and jump and start calling yourself a feminist. Yeah. I was talking about Amadako. Amadako is a feminist, a radical one. But she's married, and I'm asking myself, how is she doing? Because radical feminists, they don't even like men, they don't, but how is she able to balance it with her marriage? If you read her book, she does not say good things about men. Her male characters are always something else. Very funny, But how is she able to balance it? So before you even imbibe any ideology or anything, why am I imbibing this ideology? What do I know? There are certain things that I will not believe. Why? I have not made study on them to understand why I should believe them. But until then, just make sure that you are not going to affect somebody with the things that you don't know, that you are just trying to just pick it anyhow and all that. So
wow, like this really wow, like I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you too
for coming, for teaching us, for everything.
The Holy Spirit is a teacher. Humility mood, please. Humility mood.
So thank you very much for having us. Like, thank you for coming. Yeah, seriously, thank you. We learned a lot. Thank you.
I learned a lot too. I learned new things too. So anything were coming out there that I didn't know were there.
So thank you very much. We are the voice of the younger generation.
Yes,
As much as the boy child is important, the girl child too is important. We are important to the society. Thank you very much. The girl child will not end in marriage. There's a lot about the girl child. The girl child should explore. So teach your children. Thank you for that. Shout out to all parents. Thank you for all you're doing for the children. Thank you.
The NGOs.
Shout out to the NGOs. Thank you for all you are doing. To the church.
To everyone that is one way or the other contributing to the development of the society.
Thank you very much. We appreciate. Thank you very much. And this is Defense Podcast, the voice of the younger generation. For your giving, for everything you want to do, please reach out to us. Thank you very much. We do much more for the kingdom and for the society. So I remain your host, Gbafade Happiness. I will say peace out.
Peace out too.